What is up, budget billers? My name is Trill and we have another proposal on the table for us. And this time it is exactly what the American people want. There is a new proposal calling for $1,200 monthly stimulus checks. Could this even be a thing? I mean, majority of people don't believe that we will ever receive a fourth stimulus check, but some lawmakers and representatives are still pushing for one. Will the $1,200 check proposal survive over the $2,000 stimulus check proposal? Well, lawmakers have both of those to consider when the time is right. Also, we are having a record-breaking virus cases everywhere, guys. Could this be an additional catalyst to bring additional stimulus relief aid? The virus cases and breakthrough cases continue to rise every day, signaling that we are still not out of the woods from this pandemic. And because of this, we could start to see mask mandates coming out very soon, as well as even more shutdowns. President Biden set a goal previously of getting at least 70% of adults with at least the first vaccine shot, and he accomplished that goal this weekend. However, the U.S. reported more than 100,000 virus cases on Sunday. President Biden wants to implement mask mandates, and also President Biden tried to reverse the expiration of the eviction moratorium, but unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. Those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today, but if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you are interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay guys, virus cases are heating up like crazy. The U.S. reported on Sunday that it reached 100,000 cases in one day. In addition to that, the CDC says that the last 7-day average of daily cases surpassed the peak that we saw last summer. So it is really getting bad these days, guys. The two biggest states with the highest amount of cases is Texas and Florida, where both of these states have their governors that have outlawed local authorities from making masks mandatory. The politics is real, guys. It is real. As well as this Delta variant that is spreading like wildfires. Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator and the great friend of the former President Donald Trump, has tested positive for the virus. Graham has been fully vaccinated already, though. Graham stated that his symptoms would be far worse if he hadn't been vaccinated. He tweeted on Monday that he was informed by the House physician that he tested positive. Now, get this. This is what he said. I started having flu symptoms Saturday night and I went to the doctor this morning. I feel like I have a sinus infection and at the present time I have mild symptoms. I will be quarantining for 10 days. I am very glad I was vaccinated because without vaccination, I am certain I would not feel as well as I do right now. He continued, my symptoms would be far worse. So as you can see, these breakthrough virus cases are happening to everyone. And the term breakthrough is being referred to people who have already been fully vaccinated still catching the virus. And as a byproduct of this, tensions are rising over the mask guidance. Kids are headed back to school this month and cases are up and there have been no mask guidance on this school year. Parents are being divided about the topic of whether our children should wear masks or not. Texas and Florida are the top states right now with having virus cases, and both governors have ruled against local authorities requiring masks from anyone. The pressure is on for President Biden to reinstate masks to be mandatory again as before, which some people feel it is already too late to do this. If the numbers continue to go up, we may even see more shutdowns happening across the country, and none of us want to see that. But there is a possibility that if we don't get this under control, as I stated before, y'all need to be safe out there because it is real. The virus is real. Now, stimulus checks. We have a new proposal on the table. Ilhan Omar has released her proposal to bring $1,200 monthly stimulus checks. Omar pitched a bill last week that would send monthly checks to most Americans. Omar introduced two bills on Friday known as guaranteed income to provide more stimulus aid to majority of Americans. This guaranteed income is similar to the universal basic income that several cities are offering to its citizens. But Omar's bill is called the Support Act, which would fund local pilot programs around the country with grant money towards this program. About $2.5 billion would be used to create this national program that would target individuals making less than $75,000 per year or head of households making under $112,000 per year with a $1,200 monthly stimulus check, as well as a $600 monthly check for each child. Omar believes that poverty has gone too far in this country, and we have always pushed for growth from our millionaires, while others remain homeless, hungry, or without health care. She said, "We as a nation have the ability to make sure that everyone has their basic needs like food, housing, and health care met." If successful, this program would be available to illegal immigrants who file their taxes, as well as those experiencing housing instability. So far, the Support Act is co-sponsored by fellow progressive leaders like Cora Bush of Missouri, Pramila Jayapal of Washington, Dwight Evans of Pennsylvania, and Jamal Bowman of New York. Now, Omar has been talking about releasing this proposal for quite some time, but prior to its release, we've only had the proposal calling for $2,000 stimulus checks by Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal. This bill was reintroduced back in March, where they are calling for a $2,000 stimulus check to Americans, as well as $1,000 reoccurring stimulus checks. Their plan was called the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, or ABC, which would call for these $2,000 payments to be offered on a debit card to every person in America. In addition to that, a $1,000 reoccurring monthly stimulus check for 1 year after the end of the crisis. This would help families recover from the lasting impacts of the pandemic. So we have these two bills called for $1,200 monthly checks, as well as calling for $1,000 monthly checks with an additional $2,000 one-time check. Both of these plans are proposed by the Democrats, who have majority in the House and the Senate, which means a high probability that either one of these could actually be signed into law. We know that people are still struggling right now. We know that Americans need more stimulus relief aid. We know that the government needs to do more to help those who need it the most. But which one of these stands a chance of being included in the fourth stimulus package? At this time, we still don't know, but things are about to get heated up as the climate continues to get worse instead of better. We were all hoping that the pandemic would be ending its course right now, and we all could be back to some form of normalcy. But turns out we are experiencing the opposite of that, and things are getting worse. Things are not getting better, guys. Things are getting way worse, I tell you. So, as it currently stands, these two proposals on the table are really looking promising right now. The bipartisan physical infrastructure bill was just passed in the Senate with a procedural vote. Then once they have the final vote, it can head on over to the House for a final vote there, which Democrats hope to have the $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package to be approved by the Senate as well, using the budget reconciliation process, which still won't be easy, guys, but that's when the negotiations can actually begin. And as we have seen in the past, the stimulus checks are usually the last thing to be included into this piece of legislation. We saw that with the second and the third stimulus package, where they added the additional stimulus checks near the end of the negotiations. So, considering Democrats are in control at the moment and things are not getting any better, one of these proposals has a pretty good chance of being included, at least as a starting point, which would give us the fourth stimulus check. Now, obviously, things can change either way as the negotiations continues. We do know pretty much majority of Democrats support having a fourth stimulus check, and there are a handful of Republicans who actually support a check as well. So it looks to be very promising, but we still have to get through the current bills right now in order to get there. Sometime this week, Chuck Schumer stated that they should have the final vote in the Senate on the physical infrastructure package. And then after that, we could see the real discussions regarding this fourth stimulus package and whether or not they want to include another round of stimulus payments. I will keep you guys posted as more news develops here in the near future. Last but not least, the eviction moratorium officially expired on Saturday night. We did learn from the AOC that this was the Democrats' fault as to why the moratorium expired without being extended. AOC stated on the State of the Union on Sunday morning that we cannot in good faith blame the Republican Party. The Democrats in the House and the White House are responsible, as millions of Americans are at risk of being kicked out of their homes. So AOC put her fellow colleagues on blast for allowing the expiration of this protection to happen instead of making sure that Americans were protected as we continue to battle this pandemic. So a lot of drama is happening right now in Washington regarding this expiration of the eviction moratorium. Protesters have blamed Nancy Pelosi for this mishap as well as the president. Biden did attempt on Monday to try and extend the eviction ban, but unfortunately, he had no luck in doing so. The White House released a statement Monday evening stating that they were unable to find a way to extend the eviction moratorium. The Biden administration really failed on this one, guys. I have to call them out as I do on both sides, but they have failed the American people that are unable to pay their rent. Will they be able to recover from this blow? We don't know, guys. Well, that would all depend on these upcoming evictions that are going to happen. Could we see a crazy number of them happening and people getting evicted from their homes? Or will the numbers be surprisingly low? Well, we will just have to see, guys. But in the meantime, let's hope this bipartisan bill can head on over to the House this week so lawmakers can start working towards the Americans' Families Plan and figuring out how to include another round of stimulus checks. I will keep you guys posted once we find out more information. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But this has been another fourth stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot. And it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.